Hi, my name is Maria Carbonell, and I'm going to start having these divine feminine sessions so that I could share more of the work that has been called to me, but now I'm getting more visible with sharing what's been happening. I think individually and collectively with this energy of the divine feminine. You're hearing it a lot, and the sacred masculine and the sacred marriage of both. And I want to talk more about a lot of people are having these knowings, these inner knowings, and how could you even tell, you know, what we're learning languaging for what is happening inside of us. It's an inner journey, and this inner journey that I've been on for many years started because of something that woke me up, and it is an inner knowing, and it is very hard to put language around it if you know, collectively and everybody around you, you might be afraid to be called crazy and lunatic. What are you talking about? It makes no sense. You're not making sense. And so this is where you have to trust your faith. This is where you just know. And in that knowing, there is this confidence. And in that knowing that life won't be the same again, and you still keep trusting in that direction that you're being taken on. And your job and my job is to stay active. It is not the time when you get this inner knowing of a shift or direction in your life. It happens in different ways for different people. And it's usually an earth shattering experience that really gets your attention to say, oh, I can't go that way anymore. So I'm going to go this way and listen to this feeling that I have in my body and this inner knowing, because it came to me, and it is something of a divine nature. It is something not of this world that nobody ever showed or taught me, but that it feels good, that it feels right. And so I think a lot of people are going through this like inner knowing, this inner space of what's happening with me. Why am I just suddenly deciding to quit my job, leave this relationship, or move to this place, or do something that really doesn't make sense in the way that we have been brought up to live. So your soul is asking you to pay attention, to pay attention because it has something bigger, more fuller, and more beautiful to show you. But let me give you some languaging around that. Let me give you, borrow my faith if you don't understand what is happening inside of you. It might be an illness as well that you might have shaken you awake, or is redirecting your life in some more fuller, more beautiful way that is more who you are. Okay, so Divine Feminine sessions is just going to be talking about things that you can do to stay on the path, and it is a choice. So when I had that awakening, I had to make a choice. I had to make a choice whether I wanted to um, continue that route or continue that other route. And what a lot of people don't know is that we have a choice. We have a choice whether we want to continue to struggle or continue to have another experience, not of struggle. I mean, things will still be happening and problems and obstacles will still come up, but it's not a struggle in this path. There is a continuing development of yourself spiritually. And there's a continuing falling off and letting go of toxic things and toxic people, circumstances, toxic thoughts. And you start learning how to becoming more brighter and learn to live with more ease. And it doesn't mean it's not going to be challenging and difficult along the way, but it means that you still have this faith and inner knowing that whatever is going to happen, you're going to be okay, that it is okay, and that you are okay. So, this is a very active path as well. Along with that faith is your activation of that feminine soul, that spirit, that energy that is requiring you to do your part in receiving that intuitive guidance and then acting on it. So, a lot of us receive the intuitive guidance because everybody's intuitive, but there's a lot of things within us, our body and our mind, and experiences that we've had when we were young, or maybe most recently, that we don't want to act on that intuition because we're not prepared to. And it happens in a snap, when these intuitive hits and guidance come in. It's either you act on it or you don't, and it's gone. And that energy is for that moment is gone. And so right now, there's a lot of downloads, there's a lot of intuitive guidance. And what we're being asked to do is to stay active and to stay grounded and to stay in action, stay in that inspired action. And in that inspired action, when we do our part from in spirito, in spirit, then we get more energy. And that's how we don't burn out on this path, is because this energy gives us more fuel to be active, to be seen, to be visible, to speak the truth, to caretake the environment, to speak for animals that don't have a voice, for the plants, for the earth, and for other beings, children and women who are vulnerable, to speak for that vulnerable population. So this is a very active path, and there are women coming to work with me, and they're active. We're activating their potential. They're activating their latent potential. And I'm going to have more conversations about this, but I think this is a good start in just starting to have a dialogue from me. And you probably see me with all my plants, of just, what's happening individually and collectively, because we live such private lives. And I know I live a very private life. But in this interior world, we're all experiencing, is we're not so alone. And the things that I'm going through is not unique. We just haven't talked about it so much because we have maybe been shamed in talking about our problems, talking about our obstacles, our health issues, and our imperfections. And this is a whole different world and energy that is opening up, that there is no such thing as being perfect. There's always the thing of having the divine perfection and having spirit with us to help guide our direction. And it is not a linear path. You don't get a degree in this path. However, the benefits are far more expansive. They are far more health giving. They're far more abundant, financially, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. It will bring you health. So I want to end there. And I hear a helicopter above. Really interesting. All right. So you all take care, and I will talk to you soon, and stay blessed.